officially dead. We are live, man. Give me an F in the chat. Actually, scrap that. Give me a B in the chat for Bray Wyatt, man. Buried. Bray Wyatt was officially killed off tonight, and there's absolutely no coming back at all. For the Fiend, it is over. It is over. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens stole the show, and my God, man, did Kevin Owens look great. Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles had their own TLC match for the WWE Championship. Sasha Banks brings Carmella to one of the best matches that she's had in her entire career. We have new WWE Tag Team Champions on Monday night. Does it matter? Absolutely not. And Charlotte Flair is back! To the surprise of nobody, and nobody cares. We don't need Charlie with an upgraded modem. You got JD right here running all night long. This is your TLC post show right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. It is Sunday night, December 20th, 2020. We are 5 days away from Santa Claus coming down everybody's chimney, delivering gifts. And tonight we were gifted the return of Charlotte Flair. Tonight we were gifted the official death of Bray Wyatt. Tonight we were gifted Roman Reigns being the standard bearer of everything in professional wrestling going into 2021. Tonight we were gifted Kevin Owens looking like an absolute monster, and hopefully Vince McMahon and Fat Man Bruce realize that they have a main event star in Kevin Owens if they give him the opportunity. Tonight we were gifted Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE title against AJ Styles. Tonight we were gifted The Miz failing at pretty much everything he does, but failing cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. And tonight we were gifted a pretty decent WWE pay-per-view to close out what was absolutely the worst creative year in WWE history. And it's not even close. And I'm not even joking. I am not kidding when I say that. The absolute worst creative year in the history of WWE. It wasn't a bad show tonight, man. It wasn't a bad show at all. I didn't really have any expectations going into the show, but normally that's the way these things work. WWE doesn't really do much to get you excited about the pay-per-view, but it always ends up being semi-decent. And I would probably be afraid or worried, a little worried, if WWE didn't deliver a good show, because with the talent that's on this show and the maximum of 6 matches tonight, spanning 3 hours on the WWE Network, it had no room to suck. It really did. I can only hope WWE's going into 2021 with some sort of plan going into the Rumble, some sort of plan going into WrestleMania. I doubt it. I doubt it very much. We got the announcement for the Royal Rumble. We got a date. January 31st, 2021 is the date officially for the Royal Rumble. We will see what WWE does to begin the road to the Rumble. Hopefully, like I said, they got something planned. I am not really holding my breath on that one. The big story is Monday Night Raw going into Raw tomorrow. I don't know what WWE is going to do. I don't know if they are sounding the alarms. I don't know if they have a plan. Vince McMahon reportedly wants out-of-the-box ideas. Vince McMahon reportedly wants change. Some changes will be made. Not major changes, but changes that will be visibly seen on Monday night is the last thing that I read. Now, again, I highly doubt that, but that's the more important thing going into WWE tonight than TLC was at all. I said this on the podcast Saturday. Out-of-the-box ideas are not pulling somebody up from NXT. Out-of-the-box ideas are not bringing back Goldberg. Out-of-the-box ideas or changes should not, and I hope to God are not, Edge or any returning legend. Let's bring back Stone Cold Steve Austin for some type of gimmick show. These aren't out-of-the-box ideas. These are ideas that only solidify WWE doesn't have a fucking clue as to what they're doing. We all know Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard aren't going anywhere. And the one thing that I could sit here and just constantly utter to you guys over and over and over again is how to fix Monday Night Raw. I doubt we get anything changed on Monday night. We will not get anything changed coming out of this show, and we will not get anything changed going into Monday Night Raw. Until Monday Night Raw is 2 hours, until Vince McMahon relieves half of his power on Monday night and Friday night, until Bruce is fired, and until we got somebody in there that knows what the fuck they're doing, and is able to tell Vince McMahon no, and is able to get behind all the young talent on this show and give them proper opportunity, until WWE starts to build somebody up that is an actual legit superstar not named Roman Reigns, then there will be no change. The one thing I urge everybody watching tonight is do not get excited about WWE turning the page. Oh, tonight was a good show. WWE taking this momentum into Monday Night Raw. It's going to be a good Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw ends up being a good show tomorrow. It's not the WWE turning that corner and finally giving us a good Monday Night Raw and bringing back Monday Night Raw to where it needs to be. You can't really gauge the company on one show. And you can't gauge the company going into WrestleMania season anyway, because typically the Royal Rumble through WrestleMania season is when the ratings are up. I wish that would come with good creative. Seems like WWE banks on the ratings being slightly up, which they were down 2 years prior, this year, going into WrestleMania. But you can't really gauge the company on how well they're doing during this part of the season, because this is their season. So I don't want to hear anything about WWE being up or WWE getting a rating. It's WrestleMania season. The people that do not watch the show, they usually come back during this time. Everything seems to be the same way going into Monday Night Raw and Friday night this coming week. Roman Reigns is still the WWE Universal Champion. That was absolutely not going to change. There's no way Roman Reigns should even be in discussion for losing that championship. Drew McIntyre, he is still the WWE Champion. There was no reason, A, why WWE should have taken the title off of him to begin with. I don't know what that did. I really don't. After tonight, I don't know what it did. All it did was stifle the man's momentum. There was no way WWE was going to take that title off of Drew, put it on Randy, put it back on Drew, and only take it off of him again. It didn't make any sense. So he is the WWE Champion on Monday night going into the start of the new year. Sasha Banks coming out of the women's division on SmackDown, still the SmackDown Women's Champion. That is the right decision to make. You want all your heavy hitters carrying the load for you on these shows. Sasha Banks is Wrestlemania, either with Bianca or Bayley. Carmella did not, in any way, shape, or form, ever factor into those plans. It was a good one-off. Hopefully it's over. They made the right decision there. Asuka is still the Raw Women's Champion for now. She lost Lana. Charlotte comes back as her tag team partner. They win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And it took WWE not even 10 fucking minutes to put a title back on Charlotte Flair. Somewhere in Gorilla, Bruce was jerking off to the side of Charlotte Flair holding another undeserved championship. And Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, I mean, there really isn't much of me to kind of even analyze or dissect during this match or the feud. The match really wasn't anything. The match didn't do anything. What did it do? Did it make Randy Orton even eviler or more evil after tonight? What did it exactly do for Randy Orton? Nothing. It did nothing. Randy Orton's moving on to Edge, and he's going to look back at Bray Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt's going to be a fucking footnote in the career of Randy Orton. What it does is absolutely kill the Fiend's character off for good. The Fiend is dead. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Bray Wyatt. I don't want to hear anybody talk about Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, Firefly Funhouse, Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss has been carrying this gimmick for months. Bray Wyatt did nothing. Now he's officially dead. Bray Wyatt came back after being such a great character in his first run. WWE fucked that up. He reinvents himself with this Fiend character, taking a page from his past and making it new again. And they absolutely killed him in his first 6 months. And then the brake pads were fucking rusted and they were just completely destroyed. WWE could not stop this fucking absolute carnage. This destruction of Bray Wyatt just seemed to be steamrolling 1 month after the other. You look back at 2020 and you look at Bray Wyatt, man. My God, does it fit perfectly with what happened this year? This year was a fucking disaster for everybody. And Bray Wyatt in 2020 was an absolute fucking disaster. This guy lost to Goldberg in 3 minutes, buried. Then he goes into a feud with John Cena at WrestleMania, comes out of it. Everybody went crazy over the creativity of the match, whatever. Then he goes directly into a feud on SmackDown with Braun Strowman that lasted 2 months, probably longer. He wins the WWE Universal Championship back, only to drop it to Roman Reigns 1 week later because Roman was ready to come back. And then he gets into this feud, drafted to Monday Night Raw with Randy Orton, and he gets burned into oblivion at the end of this show tonight. So the guy was buried, lost the Universal Championship in a week because Roman Reigns came back, and then was burned into oblivion. If anybody says Bray Wyatt is still a relevant character on WWE TV, man, you are hanging on to a hope that now has fucking disappeared, has turned into fucking dust at the end of TLC tonight. Dead. And it brings a smile to my face because I love Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt is fucking great. I think the character has potential, obviously. It was something that I wanted to see succeed. But everybody holding on to hope, folks. This was the solidification that the character is dead. Absolutely dead. Decent show tonight. Really nothing that is going to set the world on fire except Bray Wyatt's fucking career-ending match with Randy Orton tonight. But we will go over everything and talk about where we are going after tonight's show. Obviously, we're going to talk about the news and rumors. We're going to talk about where we're going coming out of these matches tonight on the post show. And I thank you guys for being here, man. We are 1,800 in the chat right now. Thank you guys so very much. I hope we are number one tonight. I know Hoot Media can hear me. Hoot Media in the chat. I don't want to waste too much of Hoot Media's time. Are we number one at this point in time, Hoot Media? Let me know as I get into my business here. Super chats are open, man. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. As we usually do, they're saved at the end. So let me know what you guys think about that. Get them on in. Get your takes in. Get your opinions in. We'll hang out at the end of the show, as always. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys have not subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, man. We are 25 away from 120,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And like I said, turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys want to check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel, links for everything you need will be down below in the description of this very video. Off the Script on Saturday was a podcast that everybody seemed to love and agree with. We talk about the terrible rating that was Monday Night Raw on Monday, the lowest rating ever, and how to fix Monday Night Raw. If you guys missed that, it is an absolute must listen. So go and check that out. Like I said, link for that will be down below in the description of this very video. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon page. It's a great way to support the show. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want your masks, there's a couple other ways to support the show. Masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS. Go and get your black off the script masks. Make sure you guys go and get your t-shirts. Bonfire.com is the exclusive home of the Off the Script shop on Bonfire. And if you guys don't know yet, tonight's sponsor for the show is Blue Chew. BlueChew.com is the sponsor for tonight's show. So make sure you guys go and check out Blue Chew. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. And you guys are going to get a free sample. No doubt about it. Blue Chew, always a great friend of the show. Guys, let's start at the top. We got a 8-man tag to start the pre-show. This was Chad Gable, Otis, Daniel Bryan, and Big E. They went up against Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Baron Corbin with his Knights of the Lone Wolf, which I actually, for some reason, you guys might think I'm crazy about this, I actually dig the name. I actually dig the name of Baron Corbin's Geeks, Knights of the Lone Wolf. I'm a big fan of Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler. I think they are a great tag team. I hope WWE lets them show how great they are, really. They do not deserve to just stand in the shadows behind Baron Corbin. They should be in the tag team division. The tag team division should be merged, number one. It's one of the things we talked about on Off the Script on Saturday. And number two, they should be in the tag team division up against the Street Profits. Absolutely. Too good to not be used in that situation. Daniel Bryan on the pre-show, man. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with it, and at the same time, I don't have a problem with it. Because Daniel Bryan more than likely will be the next opponent for Roman Reigns. I would save him for WrestleMania. But Daniel Bryan is going to be the next in line to sit at the table with Roman Reigns. Otis, I'll talk about Otis a couple of times tonight, especially in the opening match for the pay-per-view. Otis and Chad Gable, I don't know why they split Otis away from Tucker tonight and only did that to pair him with Chad Gable. I don't understand it. Chad Gable, I'm glad he's getting an opportunity. How long that lasts, I have no idea. But all I can urge Chad Gable is, when your contract is up, bro, please, write to New Japan. I could see Chad Gable absolutely tearing the fucking house down in the G1 Climax, man. The guy needs to just let go and do what he needs to do. And then Big E, obviously WWE's prepping him for the Intercontinental Championship. I called it. I knew it. I said it on SmackDown. I said it on the post show on Friday night. I could absolutely see WWE having a Merry Christmas moment with Big E and Sami Zayn. They made the match. The match is signed, and it will be delivered on Friday night. Big E challenging Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. Big E is going to win the championship on Christmas Day. I just see it coming. So he's in this thing with Sami Zayn. Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, man. Shinsuke needs to be in something a little bit more high profile. They need to just completely break him down and build him back up again. This guy was the hottest thing in all of pro wrestling about 5 years ago. And now look at what he's doing. He's an absolute nobody. Cesaro, one of the guys that WWE management, they asked for a name or list of names in WWE that creative feels is right now being mistreated, misused, and underutilized. Cesaro is one of those names, along with Chad Gable. And Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is Baron Corbin. Ditch the King gimmick, bro. It ain't working. It's 2 years old. It's old news. Give me another King of the Ring and let him defend his crown, or get the fuck out of here. So Sami Zayn teased starting the match with Big E. So Corbin tagged in. He worked over Big E. They didn't really work well together at all. Faces took over, worked over Cesaro. Bryan attempted some yes kicks early on. Cesaro grabbed his leg. Bryan and Cesaro in the ring, bro. I'll take it. So Zayn, obviously, he pulled Big E off the apron. Big E chased Zayn on the floor. Cesaro rocked him with an uppercut. Otis got a hot tag. He ran wild. He hit his signature caterpillar, but Gable demanded a tag because he's going through the Alpha Academy, is Otis. So the heels regained control. Zayn tagged into the match when he felt was the right time to do so. Gable rolled out of the way, tagged in Big E, so we got Zayn and Big E in the ring. Zayn had nobody to tag anymore. Zayn attempted the haluva kick, but Big E countered with a Uranagi. Big E then hit the big ending on Zayn for the win. And Michael Cole pointed out, and I knew this was coming even before they made the announcement, Michael Cole pointed out that Big E pinned the Intercontinental Champion in the ring here on the TLC pre-show. So by that stat, by that unbelievable analytic breakdown by Michael Cole, Big E was going to get a title shot because he pinned the champion. And the match is made, like I said, on December 25th. It will be Big E versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. More than likely, Big E will be the new Intercontinental Champion. Decent little match, really not important at all. And they just wanted to get everybody on the show for the sake of getting everybody that they could on the show. TLC started off with AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I think it was pretty predictable that this match was going to end up in Drew McIntyre's favor. The biggest thing that WWE had to do here was make it believable, because I don't think anybody thought that Drew McIntyre was going to lose the title in this match. Now, a lot of people, they were upset that this match opened the show, but given the fact that we got 2 TLC matches, just looking at the card, there's 6 matches in total. You got 2 TLC matches. One of them was going to start the show, and the other was more than likely going to end the show. Now, I might as well get this out of the way. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens did not end the show. This was actually the 5th match of the night. Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton ended TLC. And if you look at the 2 TLC matches, which one is more important? Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. That more than likely would have been the main event if there was no Inferno match. But AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre was the least important of the 2 ladder matches. So that's why they went on first, okay? Let's get that out of the way. Number 2, why did Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt close the show tonight? Well, common sense would suggest that WWE ended with this match because seeing how everything was set up, the fire around the barricades, around ringside, and all the fire just jumping all over the place, and the gasoline that was used, and the fact that a dummy prop of the Fiend was set on fire tonight, and all this other shit, all this extra shit needed to go into making this match happen. Just by common sense and logic, it would suggest that WWE put this match on last because all of that stuff would have been a pain in the ass to break down during an actual live telecast of this pay-per-view. So if everybody complaining, why did Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton close the show over Roman Reigns? I thought about it myself. And breaking all that shit down middle of the show was going to be a pain in the ass for them to do so. That's why they figured, let's put it on last, and we'll end with a cool visual. And that's exactly what they came up with. So AJ and Drew McIntyre, the build wasn't really all that special. WWE billed this match as a first-time ever match. AJ and Drew McIntyre, to me, sounds like a WrestleMania match. A WrestleMania WWE Championship match. But they're giving it away at this D-level pay-per-view. Now, I understand Drew McIntyre is more than likely going to move on to Sheamus. But I did have a problem early on with them plugging AJ Styles into this one-and-done situation. What does AJ do now? Where does AJ go now? It worries me that AJ Styles is nothing more than a utility player on Monday night. And he's much better than being a utility player. That's just the way I see it. WWE is moving Drew McIntyre on to Sheamus. What does Drew McIntyre do at WrestleMania? Who does he defend the WWE Championship against at WrestleMania? There really is nobody else. Are they bringing back Brock Lesnar? Is Keith Lee going to win the Royal Rumble? Are we going to get Keith Lee winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania from Drew McIntyre? Are they really going to put him over? I doubt it. I'd be shocked if that's the case. WrestleVotes tweeted out a rumor about Drew McIntyre, Brock Lesnar, and Keith Lee at WrestleMania in a triple threat match. I don't know what good that would do. You're pretty much just asking for people to complain at that point. Now, if the situation is to get Keith Lee over by him pinning Brock, fine. I would much rather do Keith Lee versus Brock, have Keith Lee go over Brock, and then build Keith Lee on for a match against Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. I'm actually leaning towards John Cena coming back and challenging Drew McIntyre for number 17. Because realistically, number 17 should have been done this year. Bray Wyatt should have been the WWE champion going into WrestleMania this year, COVID or not COVID. John Cena should have been chasing number 17 against Bray Wyatt. They didn't do that this year. They could certainly do that this year. And I think John Cena passing the torch to Drew McIntyre, just based on who John Cena is, I think would be a great match for WrestleMania and for Drew McIntyre. And then everybody can say, oh, look at this. Drew McIntyre is the new John Cena. He's very John Cena-esque in his delivery. Now he's in the ring against John Cena. And people can complain about that even more so at WrestleMania. That's where I think they could possibly go with that as well. Because if you look at the Monday Night Raw roster, there really is nobody else. And I would much rather a John Cena versus Drew McIntyre versus a Brock Lesnar. Again. Which would defeat the purpose of everything you did this year with him. And I don't think Keith Lee is going to get the rub by WWE management. The guy lost to the fucking Miz on Monday night. They're not building Keith Lee up for anything. I'd be shocked. So I'd book John Cena in a big match with Drew McIntyre. John Cena would chase. He's not going to win. And you give Drew McIntyre a big win. You killed his fucking momentum by taking the title off of him. So now you got to rebuild him back up again until he drops the title to whoever is WWE's next in line. Those are just my thoughts on these two guys in their situations right now. AJ immediately went for the leg, tried to take it out from Drew, probably to prevent him from climbing the match or climbing the ladder in the match to grab the title. Smart move, smart strategy. It didn't take McIntyre long to gain a comeback here. He was literally throwing Styles around for a couple of minutes. Big overhand chops. Knocked AJ off the top rope. He then set up a table on the outside and tried to suplex Styles through. But Styles stopped that. Drew continued to throw Styles into the barricade around ringside and threw tables and chairs set up around ringside. Drew finally grabs the ladder and gets in the ring to set it up. Styles got back up and went right back to McIntyre's leg, which was a definite priority here in this match for Styles. Attacked it with a steel chair. Styles used the chair a bit over McIntyre's leg and back, and then set it up in the corner, wedged it between the top turnbuckle. So that backfired. After some back and forth, Styles was then slingshotted into the chair that was propped in between the turnbuckles. McIntyre tried to climb for a second time. Styles took out his leg once again. Styles went for a Styles Clash on the ladder as it laid in the ring flat on its back, and Drew McIntyre blocked it, countered it with a Future Shock DDT. McIntyre picked up the ladder and legitimately suplexed it onto Styles, but Styles went back to the leg and took Drew out with a nasty chop block. Styles then put Drew's leg in one of the rungs of the ladder and applied a modified calf crusher. Pretty creative spot there by AJ. Styles with more punishment with a steel chair over the back of McIntyre and the left leg that has been compromised in this match quite a few times. Another calf crusher with Drew's leg wrapped, this time inside a steel chair. So Drew broke this hold temporarily. AJ back up with the ladder. Drew now back up. Drew gets sent into the corner with the ladder forcefully. Styles wraps McIntyre's leg around the ring post. AJ used the ladder outside and knocked Drew right out. Ladder shot right between the eyes. Styles places Drew on a table. He gets back into the ring, climbs the top turnbuckle, goes up top. He wanted to finish it, but Drew, he got back up and launched a chair right at AJ. So Drew McIntyre was laying on the table. He seen AJ about to finish this match off. He got up immediately, took a steel chair, threw it right at AJ, knocked him off the top rope. Drew set up a table in the ring. Styles stops him and drop toe holds him into a ladder draped in the corner. Drew McIntyre was back up. AJ jumped off the table that was set up in the corner with a phenomenal forearm. Drew caught him and delivered a belly-to-back suplex onto a ladder that was in the other corner. AJ back up. Like I said, he hits another phenomenal forearm attempt. This time he gets it. Almost throws in a ladder, another ladder, from the outside into the ring. AJ sets it up. He climbs it up. Drew is back up. Pulls AJ off with a bench press over his head. Throws AJ over the top rope and tosses him through a table, if you even want to call it that. Throws him through a table on the outside, which looked absolutely nasty. AJ landed more on the floor than he did through the table. And it looked like he was clutching at his knee. I hope to God AJ was all right after that maneuver. It looked nasty. All of a sudden, The Miz comes in. The Miz came in and put Drew through a table in the middle of the ring and gave his briefcase to the referee. We now have a triple threat table, ladders, and chairs match. The Miz officially cashed in his briefcase. So Omos sees The Miz climbing the ladder. And my God, man, is The Miz a fucking geek? This guy is as fresh as a baby's ass, just powdered. Okay? This guy gets into the ring. Drew McIntyre gets put through a table. He cashes in the briefcase. This guy is climbing the ladder as if he's 90 years old. Slow, and he's methodical, and he's playing up the moment. What fucking individual that's going to cash in the briefcase, that's got a clear shot, 100% shot at winning this match, is going to climb the ladder rung by rung by rung, as slow as The Miz did right here? Could he look any more fucking stupid? So Omos sees this. Omos gets into the ring. He takes the Miz off the ladder, and he cradles him like a little baby. Like he's carrying a little baby, Omos. So Omos walks over to the top rope. He takes the Miz, launches him over the top rope, and just throws him through a table that's set up down below. So Morrison comes in with the steel chair because he put the Miz through a table, smashes the steel chair over Omos's back, and the steel chair busted and exploded into about 3 or 4 different pieces with the shot over Omos's back. Now he's fucking Incredible Hulk, Omos. So he chased Morrison away up the ramp. Morrison was backing off. Omos was walking slowly up the ramp, chasing Morrison away. Miz looked like a fucking idiot during this entire sequence, man. I don't know who booked this shit, but everybody in these ladder matches, man, they look fucking stupid. They really do. All 3 men are down. McIntyre and Styles climb back up at the same time, both going at it at the top. Miz then grabs another ladder from the outside, brings it in the ring, sets it up next to the ladder that McIntyre and Styles are climbing up. So he set up this ladder. He climbed up this ladder faster than he did the original ladder the first time. So it takes him to be put through a fucking table to climb the ladder like he should have the first time. So he climbs up this ladder. He was knocked off. Styles backed up, or he was back up top with McIntyre. He knocks McIntyre off. Miz and Styles are now fighting at the top of the ladder. McIntyre then comes right back in, shoves the ladder that both Miz and Styles are on. He shoves it down. Styles goes over the top rope to the outside. Miz goes flying into the ring. McIntyre gets up. He delivers a quick claymore to the Miz. McIntyre climbs up and grabs the title and retains the WWE Championship and wins this match. Now, I got to give WWE credit here. For one thing, they made it exciting. In a very predictable element with Drew McIntyre, they made it exciting. Now, WrestleVotes actually tweeted out during the day that WWE Creative was told to come up with ways for The Miz to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase tonight and present them to Vince McMahon. When they did that, it was reported that all of the ideas presented to Vince about Miz cashing in, he said all of them were terrible. This was one of the weakest cash-ins, I think, I've ever seen in the history of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I got to give WWE credit for making this predictable situation exciting. The cash-in was terrible. And I really want to know, this is a genuine question from me to WWE Creative. Why did you take the briefcase off of Otis? That's what I want to know. Now, I'm not even talking about Otis being a subpar professional wrestler. I'm not talking about the reports of Otis going back to the Performance Center because Vince McMahon thinks he can't wrestle or he wants him to wrestle better as a big man. I'm not even talking about that. Let's disregard that. Why did we take... Now, Otis should have never won the briefcase in the first place. Otis should have never been broken away from Tucker Knight. Otis should have never been given a singles run. Let me get that out of the way. But let's talk about the Money in the Bank briefcase situation. Otis was the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. He lost the briefcase to The Miz. Why did they take the briefcase off of Otis to give it to The Miz if The Miz was only going to lose the briefcase? Because we all know Otis was going to lose that briefcase as well. What good did they do by giving it to The Miz? What did it enhance on television? Nothing. What did it do for The Miz and Morrison? Nothing. What did it do for anybody around it? Nothing. They barely even came up with a creative way or an exciting way to tease a cash-in. They used to do that well. Apparently, they forgot how to do that now. It did nothing for anybody. In fact, all you did is absolutely kill the concept to a point where it doesn't even deserve its own pay-per-view anymore. Money in the Bank needs to be abolished as an actual pay-per-view. Take the pay-per-view, get rid of it, give me King of the Ring, make King of the Ring special. Move Money in the Bank back to WrestleMania and give people an opportunity to be on the WrestleMania card and make it feel important instead of giving everybody a fucking spot on the show just because you want to get them on the show. Otis, looking at this tonight, should have never lost the Money in the Bank briefcase because it did nobody any good. At least if you kept it on Otis. Otis could have been a dumb babyface and cash it in like a dumb babyface would. Whether he's cashing it in on Roman Reigns or cashing it in on Drew McIntyre, it doesn't even fucking matter. Both of them would have given Otis 15 minutes to get over. Drew McIntyre would have given Otis 15 minutes to make him look good. That would have been better than whatever they did with The Miz. Remember Roman Reigns and Buddy Murphy? Remember that on SmackDown? That was Buddy Murphy's crowning fucking moment. Roman Reigns made him look like a megastar in that 20 minutes. You mean to tell me Roman couldn't do that with Otis? Everything Roman touches lately turns to gold. Why didn't you do that with Otis? At least at that point, you would have made Otis look so much better than what he does now, and you would have made the fucking briefcase look so much better than what you did with it when The Miz had it and now lost it. I mean, am I losing my mind? Or am I just smarter than everybody on WWE's management team? We didn't see any Sheamus here. I'm assuming they're going to start building Sheamus and Drew McIntyre for the Royal Rumble. I do not think that Sheamus is going to be saved for WrestleMania. I do think it's going to be a Royal Rumble situation. I think Drew McIntyre's got bigger plans for WrestleMania. I would not be shocked if WWE calls upon John Cena. I would not be shocked. Because right now there is legitimately nobody on Monday night right now. That could change. It could be Brock Lesnar. I hope to God not. Could be Keith Lee. I just don't see it. Drew McIntyre's going to have a big match at some point at WrestleMania planned. We just don't know what that is. Thank you guys so much, man. 2,100 people in the chat right now. Thank you so very much for all your support. Hit that thumbs up. I can't stress it enough, man. The thumbs up helps out the video. It helps out the channel. It helps out in the discoverability of this particular video that you're watching right now. So make sure you guys do that, man. Let's try for 1,000 likes in the live stream tonight for TLC. I'm taking this fucking hoodie off because I'm sweating my ass off. It's fucking 25 degrees in New York. I figured, let me come on the show with my goddamn hoodie. I'm freezing my ass off, and now I'm sweating my balls off. There you go. Super chats are also open, guys. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Appreciate you all for being here. Who Media? You never answered my question. Are we number one tonight? Maybe we're not number one. They didn't answer me. I don't know. Got some stiff competition out there, man, but I thank you guys for being, oh, we're number one. Of course we are. Of course we are, man. Who the fuck else would you be watching? Huh? Give me a break. I did answer you, dummy. Well, the chat was going crazy with media. I must have missed your original reply. Chat's going crazy. That's why I pay you. Sasha Banks versus Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I said this on Friday. I'm going to reiterate it again. Sasha Banks is awesome. We all know that. I don't need to say that for you guys to understand that. I think you're pretty smart. If you don't, then I don't know what the fuck you're doing here. Carmella, I will say this about Carmella, man. I am not in any way, shape, or form a fan of Carmella. Carmella has undergone several changes. And I mean that from when we first seen her in NXT to what we see of her now, she's undergone many changes. She was a babyface, she was a heel, babyface, heel. And now she's in this situation with this new character, this new gimmick. And even though it really isn't something that I'm a fan of, I will give Carmella credit. She's playing her character exceptionally well. She's taken this character, and I said this on Friday, It's nothing more than an extension of her real life self. This is who she is, just amped up. And that's exactly what they've done with the character. Now, she might look a little ridiculous, right? Dancing behind the silhouetted screen, whatever. But this is her. The champagne, the whole look, that's Carmella. And I appreciate the fact that they've given her somewhat of a character, but it's also herself, and she's playing it well. And that's exactly what WWE needs to. If WWE followed the same path that they did with Carmella, with several other people on the roster that could use this type of benefit, I think we'd be much better off. Now, as far as her in-ring ability, she's no Sasha Banks, but she's not bad. She's not embarrassing. She's not a Billie Kay. She's not a Lacey Evans. She's not a Tamina Snuka. She's not a Peyton Royce. She's much better than all of them. She's not a Dana Brooke. Carmella is not bad in the ring. And the only reason why she got this title match, even though it doesn't make any sense logistically, because what really did she do to get a title shot? The only reason why they gave her a title shot is because all of the women that I just mentioned, most of them being on SmackDown, who would you rather be in this situation against Sasha Banks? Carmella or everybody else that's so much worse than Carmella? This is why I said on Saturday during the podcast, end the brand split. Merge the women's divisions, merge the tag team divisions. You'd actually have divisions at that point. You'd have competition breeding in said divisions. The only reason why she got this title shot is because, by default, there was nobody else. This was a one and done. WWE did the match on Friday. It went to a DQ because Sasha Banks kicked too much ass. They gave the win to Carmella. We got this match again, and Sasha Banks retains the title clean. Carmella ran to the outside, stalled at ringside, but Banks dragged her back into the ring. Carmella fought back, gained control early on. Banks flies out of the ring, but misses. She went for a Meteora, so she rolled through. Then we got this sommelier. Dreads is what I call him. Reginald is his name. He assisted Carmella, and Carmella drops Banks and then sends her into the steel steps. Carmella brings it back into the ring. She goes for an immediate 2 count. She stomps away at Banks in the corner. Carmella with a Bronco Buster near fall. She grounds Banks in the middle of the ring. She starts talking trash. Banks then rams Carmella back into the turnbuckles to break it. Banks then with a Meteora in the middle of the ring. She goes for a near fall, only gets a 2 count. Banks hit the running knees in the corner, followed up with 3 amigos. Beautifully done. Banks followed up with a frog splash, goes for a cover, only gets a 2 count. Banks attempted the Meteora, but Carmella avoided it. Banks went for the tilt-a-whirl head scissors, but Carmella dropped her on her head, and they really made a believable near fall out of this one. Corey Graves was going crazy. Carmella nailed Banks with a super kick as she hung over the apron. Carmella then attempted a Hurricanrana off the top, but Banks rolled through and rolled up Carmella for a near fall. Carmella then climbs back up, hits the Frankensteiner, but Banks turned it into a roll-up. Carmella rolls Banks up for a 2. Banks with a backslide to counter that for a 2. They each go at each other with more pin attempts in the middle of the ring, and it ends with Carmella delivering code of silence. She's got Sasha Banks in her submission finisher now. Banks counters, goes to the Banks statement. Carmella goes into a double chicken wing, grounding Sasha Banks. Banks then forces Carmella to break. Carmella visibly frustrated as Banks tries to recover in the corner. Carmella misses another Bronco Buster as Banks moves out of the way. Banks then goes and applies the Banks statement in the middle of the ring. Reginald, on the outside, grabs Carmella's leg and grabs her and pulls her out of the ring, which should have been a disqualification, by the way, but I guess these rules don't apply in WWE. So Banks leapt off the apron with a Meteora onto Reginald. Banks turns around, eats 2 super kicks from Carmella. Carmella brings it back into the ring, but Banks kicks out, 2 count near fall. Carmella then starts yelling at Sasha Banks, slaps her around. Banks blocks a facebuster and applies a bank statement in a beautiful transition, and Carmella taps out to Sasha Banks, and she retains, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Very good match. I did not expect a lot of anything here. The feud was, in my hopes, a one-off. That's exactly what it feels like. I didn't expect much of anything for this match, just based on what I already feel about Carmella, but I got to give the woman props. She's playing up her gimmick and her character very well. She's not bad at all in the ring. She's not bad at all if she can hang with Sasha Banks and make minimal mistakes. But that goes to show you how good Sasha Banks is anyway. And it's over. It's over. I don't know what Sasha Banks does moving forward. Maybe we do get Bianca Belair. I have no idea. The fact that Bianca Belair lost to Bayley at Friday's SmackDown show, it may be a situation where they do build up Bianca first. I'm making a bold prediction here, man. I'm still hoping out. I'm holding out hope for Bayley and Sasha at WrestleMania. I really am. Now, more than likely, it will probably be Bianca being an odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble and go on to face Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. But I'm still holding out hope. I want Bayley to be as obnoxious as ever. I really do. I do not think Bayley and Sasha are done. I want Bayley to come in between numbers 1 and 3, and I want her to win the Royal Rumble. I want her to win the Royal Rumble, get a shot at Sasha Banks. We get that feud finally coming to a close, and then Sasha can move on to Bianca. They build up Bianca over the spring and summer months, and Bianca takes the title from Sasha at SummerSlam. That's what I think is the right way or the right thing to do. That's just me. You guys might see differently, but that's just me. Sasha Banks retains. Good match. I didn't expect much of anything from it, but it ended up being one of Carmella's best matches in her career. Bayley brought her to that match, that type of match, early on SmackDown a couple of years ago. And now Sasha Banks did the same thing. So good on her. The New Day versus the Hurt Business. This is for the Raw Tag Team titles. Now, the situation with this was mind-numbingly stupid. It really was. I predicted this from day one. Just looking at the landscape, folks, it's not that difficult to figure out. We got 2 tag teams on Monday night, the New Day and the Hurt Business. There's nobody else. There's nobody else. So much so that WWE is now pairing Jeff Hardy and Matt Riddle together as a makeshift tag team because there are no other tag teams on Monday night. So the Hurt Business and the New Day go at it a couple of times, and the Hurt Business lose. And then we get a second match between the two for absolutely no reason because WWE has 3 hours to fill on Monday night. And then we get a double countout. MVP. He coaxes the New Day to give the Hurt Business another opportunity. And then they lose the restart again. Clean. So after that, I said, there's no way in hell anybody's going to make me believe the Hurt Business deserve another tag team title opportunity. So WWE did exactly what I knew they were going to do. They did singles matches. So they did Xavier Woods versus Cedric Alexander. And then they did Kofi Kingston versus Shelton Benjamin, I believe is the match that they did. Or reversed. One or the other. You guys get what I'm saying. But Cedric Alexander got into the ring and wanted, I think it was Kofi. He coaxed Kofi into another rematch and he beats Kofi Kingston. So the New Day, they lost singles matches to the Hurt Business, which now grants the Hurt Business tag team title opportunities. Which brings us to this match. There was only one outcome to this match. The Hurt Business were never going to lose because they've lost so many times before. They haven't beaten the New Day in a tag team element yet. And if the Hurt Business lost here at this show, on TLC, there was no way WWE was going to spin it in a way where you think they deserve yet another opportunity. So when the Hurt Business won the Raw Tag Team titles tonight, I was like, I'm not surprised. Now Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy have the next shot in line because they now are a new tag team on Monday Night Raw. Cedric went right after Kofi. He ate a super kick at the bell, went for an immediate cover, 1-2, kick out. Xavier tags in. He delivers a leg drop off the top for another near fall on Cedric. Kofi tags back in, diving crossbody for a third near fall. Double team offense between the New Day here on Cedric. Reverse DDT by Xavier for a fourth near fall. Cedric is getting his ass kicked right now. Finally tags out to Shelton Benjamin. MVP's giving Cedric a water break on the outside. Shelton regained control for a little bit, but the New Day were on their game. Quick tags, big offensive maneuvers. They took Cedric out of the corner away from Shelton. Woods with a DDT on Shelton for a near fall. Shelton then again regains control when he launches Xavier into the bottom turnbuckle. Cedric tags in, grounds Xavier, slows the match down. The New Day were all over the place. So Alexander tags back in. He's in the ring, like I said. He slowed the pace down. They isolated Woods and cut him off from Kofi. Woods fought back. Kingston eventually got the hot tag in a very cool spot. Kofi Kingston attempted a boom drop, but Shelton Benjamin caught him mid-boom drop and powerbombed him. Hurt Business attempted the Doomsday device, but Kingston rolled through. Kingston hit an SOS for a near fall. Alexander then hit a beautiful brainbuster for a very close near fall. Cedric avoids a trouble in paradise. They go back and forth. Cedric with a big knee, a V-trigger-like knee, and a brainbuster again for a 2 count. Woods breaks that up. Shelton comes right back in. He's fighting with Woods. Shelton with a big boot on Woods. Cedric then with a neutralizer on Woods. Benjamin hits pay dirt to Woods, sending him to the floor. They were not legal, by the way. MVP on the outside. He's yelling at his boys. He's ordering Shelton to tag back in. Kofi blocks an Olympic slam and drop kick Shelton. Kofi kicks Cedric off the apron. Shelton runs into a kick from Kofi in the corner. Kofi goes to the top, but Shelton knocks him silly up top, climbs up. Kofi and Shelton go back and forth. Benjamin runs back, hits a big superplex. Benjamin waits for Kofi to get up so he can put him away. I'm saying to myself, why don't you just go pick the motherfucker up and go put him away? Cedric was like, bro, you're wasting too much fucking time. He tags Shelton on his back. He gets into the ring. He delivers the lumbar check. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the Hurt Business win the Monday Night Raw Tag Team Championships. Not a bad match, but a very predictable outcome, to say the least. Now, where do the New Day go from here? I don't know. Do they get a obligatory rematch here because they were the champions? I hope to God not. Being that the New Day lost here, I hope this is over. I hope this is it. But now we got Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy waiting in the rings. The Hardy Bros is what they're calling them. With the bro nuts and the bro nouns. I can't wait to see the cringe comedy fest that is the Hardy Bros on Monday Night Raw. In fact, I wish WWE would do something to remedy the tag team division instead of coming up with makeshift tag teams. Matt Riddle should really be going up against Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. That's something that I think would be good. But here we are in a tag team element because there are no other babyface tag teams on Monday night. If they ended the brand split and merged the tag team divisions, this wouldn't be a fucking issue. I said it on Saturday. Vince McMahon should come out and say the brand split is over. We wouldn't even be talking about Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy versus the Hurt Business. The brand split is over. The Hurt Business versus the Street Profits. Unify the titles. That's it. Same thing with the women. Sasha versus Asuka. Again, merge the titles. Get rid of them. Merge the fucking titles, man. End the brand split. I don't know how WWE plans to write 12 months of television for the tag team titles when there only is 2 tag teams on this show. Seems like a daunting task if you ask me. The Hurt Business win. They got another babyface tag team in their rearview mirror in the form of the Hardy Bros, and that's pretty much it. Nothing exciting happening in the tag team division at all. Asuka and Charlotte making her return. So much for the payoff, huh? This was Lana's big payoff, man. Lana putting Nia Jax through a table should have been the payoff, but no. No way, man. Charlotte Flair is back to ruin Monday Night Raw once again. She's all powered up. She's got a new update and a new hard drive and a new graphics card. She's got new everything, apparently. Versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. This is for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Folks, it's amazing how I put out 2 tweets tonight, and I got the fucking lowest of the low, the absolute bottom of the barrel scum on social media. All you do is cry. All you do is complain. Charlotte is so much better than your shitty rants. That's all I heard. It took WWE 7 months. Charlotte sat home for 7 months watching Bayley and Asuka become a Grand Slam champion. It's amazing. Asuka, Bayley, and Sasha were all Grand Slam champions before Charlotte Flair, folks. Do you know what this did to this woman as she sat at home getting reconstructive elective surgery? This absolutely killed this woman from the inside. It killed Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon so deeply that they couldn't bear to live anymore. They woke up in cold sweats. They were having nightmares. How could Charlotte Flair not be a Grand Slam champion? And Asuka is a Grand Slam champion. Charlotte was out for 7 months. It took WWE 10 minutes to give Charlotte Flair yet another undeserved championship title run and make her a Grand Slam champion and add to her already overrated, unimpressive, terribly forced resume. This is the woman, and I love making people cry, man. I love making people cry with facts. With facts. Everybody was like, oh man, I can't wait to hear JD talk about this one. I've talked about it all week. I'm going to reiterate myself again because I love making people cry. Your tears fill up my bubbly cherry seltzer. I love it. And it's ice cold. Charlotte won the Royal Rumble. She was not scheduled to win the Royal Rumble. Shayna Baszler was scheduled to win the Royal Rumble. They had to reroute Shayna to the Elimination Chamber. Shayna eliminated, and was the only one, by the way, to eliminate the entire field in her Elimination Chamber. First to do it ever. First individual ever, that's man or woman, to do it in the chamber. Charlotte did not want to get eliminated and lose a Royal Rumble to an upcoming NXT talent that was still a part of NXT. Couldn't do it. The woman could not bear it. So she wins the Royal Rumble, and WWE's in a conundrum. They're looking at the Raw Women's Championship, and they're looking at the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, they can't do that with Charlotte because that's been done already. They did that with Becky. Becky and Charlotte can't really do that, right? And what was the other women's champion at the time? I don't even remember. Was it Asuka? Who was it? I don't even fucking remember. Who was it on SmackDown? Bayley? Can't do Bayley. Asuka or Bayley or Becky? Becky? Who was it? I don't even fucking remember. That's how much I don't give a shit about women's wrestling. Probably Becky and Bayley at the time, right? So they figured, you know what? Let's do Rhea. Let's do Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte is announced for the Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Rhea Ripley just won the title from Shayna in December. Rhea Ripley was the next big thing. Rhea Ripley was more Becky Lynch than Becky Lynch was Becky Lynch. She was the next big thing. She was the next Becky, right? On everybody's radar, everybody loved Rhea Ripley. Then WWE does the unthinkable, which is a surprise to nobody. Charlotte wins the NXT Championship. Charlotte wins the NXT Championship for absolutely no reason. Rhea Ripley is buried in the process, and I mean fucking buried 12 feet under, never mind 6 feet under. Charlotte now is on Raw, on SmackDown, on NXT. She's all over the place. So she goes down to NXT. She does nothing to enhance that division. She kills that fucking division. She doesn't put anybody over. She doesn't put anybody over on Monday night, being that she's on NXT. Why is she on Raw when she should be on NXT? Why is she on SmackDown when she should be on NXT? Why is she the NXT champion when she does nothing to enhance that brand? So she kills the title, she kills the division, and then she kills Rhea Ripley. So we come to TakeOver in your house. Charlotte Flair versus Io Shirai versus Rhea Ripley. Everybody thought Rhea Ripley was going to get her revenge back, right? She's going to get her win back over Charlotte. What does WWE do? Io wins the title, and WWE has Charlotte drop the title, and she's not even pinned in the process. Io pins Rhea, and Charlotte refuses to put another woman over. So what exactly did you do by giving her the NXT Championship? What good did that do? Io now is still the NXT Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley has never been the same since last December. She's done nothing. I think the highlight of her fucking run this year was her match with, or her feud with, Reina Gonzalez. She will never be the same. And Charlotte Flair did more bad and more harm and more negative than anything. So then she goes out. Elective surgery is the reason she comes back. WWE couldn't wait to give this woman another championship. Pairs her with Asuka. Asuka and Lana were a tag team. WWE takes Lana out of this storyline for Charlotte Flair because this is their big payoff. It all was leading to Charlotte Flair the entire time. Bullshit. You mean to tell me that Lana pinned Shayna Baszler twice and then Nia Jax 3 weeks in a row for Lana to be out and for them to put Charlotte Flair in that role? Charlotte Flair sat at home fucking absolutely pissed that she was not a Grand Slam champion. So what happened? I guarantee you, WWE sits with Charlotte. That's the first thing that she plans. I want to be a Grand Slam champion. All right, we'll take Lana out. Nobody gives a fuck about Lana. We'll put Charlotte in there. She'll win the tag team titles. And then they'll have good guy versus bad guy type of dynamic with Asuka. Apparently, they're going to implode. They'll lose the tag team championships. Asuka will then fight Charlotte. Charlotte's going to win the Raw Women's title. So this entire transition from her being out 7 months to her being back on television, she's not going to be without a title. She comes back, and every breath she takes, she will have a title around her waist. It is unbelievable what they do for Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is going to make every single fucking segment she is a part of worse. Monday Night Raw is suffering the worst ratings of all time now. Now you're going to bring back somebody that universally is hated by everybody else because of the fucking bullshit politics that WWE shoves down your throat when it comes to her. She's going to make everything worse. She doesn't make anybody in the ring better. She doesn't put anybody over. She only gives a fuck about herself. WWE management caters to her in every fucking way, bends over backwards to do everything for Charlotte Flair. Tell me, how is everything on this show going to be better? How is everything in the division going to be better because of Charlotte Flair? She does nothing for anybody. She only does for herself. It's my rant. It's my fucking rant on Charlotte Flair. I fucking hate it. She's going to make every single aspect of this. The women's division is the worst. This is as bad as it was before Ronda Rousey. Right now. Now you're going to add Charlotte Flair back? Completely regenerated? Oh my goodness, man. Asuka and Shayna started this thing off. Nice back and forth. I see it every time. I say it every time. That should have been the Raw Women's title feud for the majority of the year, with WWE giving the rub to Shayna Baszler. Shayna has not looked good at all in any way on the main roster. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they paired her with Nia Jax, one of the worst ever in her main roster run. This should have been the feud to carry that women's division, but WWE, like I said, has botched Shayna Baszler so bad, as bad as anybody else. In comes Charlotte off of a tag against Shayna. She went right after Nia on the apron. And then a figure four attempt on Shayna, which Shayna evaded. Nia tags in. It was at this point I was a fan of Nia Jax for about 45 seconds. Anybody that's in the ring with Charlotte, I'm a fan of the opposite person. Asuka tags back in. Nia threw her weight around to take it to Asuka. Shayna tags back in, targets the left arm. Several minutes of Shayna and Nia taking it to Asuka until, of course, Charlotte made the hot tag because they got to give her the spotlight for the first time being back in 7 months. Knife edge chops. You got the fake woo going off in the Thunderdome. Suplex to Shayna. Went back to Nia with a big boot and a near fall. Shayna tried to pull Nia to safety. Asuka took out Shayna and Charlotte with a terrible, absolutely atrocious moonsault. Something that I did not miss. Charlotte's moonsault, folks. She landed I used landed very loosely on Shayna and Nia on the outside. Back in the ring, Charlotte tried for a figure four on Nia, but no good. Nia shoves her into the turnbuckle, but Asuka tagged in. Nia didn't see the tag. She delivers a Samoan drop on Charlotte. Asuka then with a missile drop kick to Jax. Baszler tags in, goes at it with Asuka. Again, Asuka fights off the Kirifuda clutch. Baszler resists the Asuka lock and applies the clutch. Flair tags back in, sends Baszler down after a backbreaker and a shot in the corner. Flair knocks Jax off the apron with the big boot. Baszler rolls Flair up for a 2 count. Flair with a figure four on Baszler now. Flair bridges into the figure eight. Jax breaks it up. Asuka drops Jax at ringside. Baszler then with a attempt at the Kirifuda clutch on Flair. Flair rolls through and reverses it into a pinning combination for a 2 count. Flair then all of a sudden hits natural selection to Baszler for the 1-2-3. And Asuka and Charlotte Flair are your new women's tag team champions. Great. Who in the chat actually enjoyed Charlotte Flair coming back? Give me, I want to see everybody as I take a sip of my cold beverage, man, because I need a fucking cold beverage. Give me a 1 in the goddamn fucking chat if you hate Charlotte Flair being back on WWE television, man. Give me a 1 in the chat right now. Seriously. I hate it. I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait for the backlash when she wins that Raw Women's Championship again. I mean, it means nothing. I think people are really up to speed on what they're doing here. I will say this, man. You know, I didn't think it could be as bad as Roman. This is as bad, if not worse, than Roman Reigns. The agenda for Charlotte is fucking disgusting. It really is. I can't stand it. Look at all the ones. Look at all the fucking ones! A situation like that, man, it'll leave you limp. It'll leave you disappointed. I know it has. Look at all the fucking ones in the chat. I don't want you guys to feel disappointed any longer, man. Don't let Charlotte Flair bring you down. That's why the podcast tonight is sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout now. You guys can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed, man. Don't let Charlotte Flair disappoint you. Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis. You guys can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, man. And since they're chewable, they're going to work up to twice as fast, so you guys can be ready whenever that opportunity arises. But please, if you're watching Raw tomorrow, when Charlotte Flair comes off, man, reach for the remote and change the channel. Otherwise, you're definitely going to need a Blue Chew. I want you guys to benefit where it counts, man. I want you guys to get more confidence where it counts. That's where Blue Chew comes in, because it's the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Blue Chew is prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you guys don't have to go to the doctor's office or wait in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your front door in a very discreet package. They're made in the USA, and Blue Chew ships and prepares direct. They're cheaper than a pharmacy, and there's no more awkwardness. Everybody listening tonight, special deal for you. Visit BlueChew.com. Get your first shipment free. F-R-E-E, free. When you use our special promo code JD at checkout. All you guys have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Guys, once again, that's BlueChew.com. Promo code JD is the faster, cheaper, and better choice. And I want to thank them for supporting tonight's TLC podcast post-show right here on Off the Script. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. This is for the Universal Championship. The Universal Championship on the line. Yeah, I put WWE title in my fucking notes. What a geek. It's for the Universal Championship. It was at this point I'm saying to myself, why is this not the main event? Roman Reigns, the biggest thing in all of wrestling right now, the biggest heel in all of wrestling, the best thing on WWE television, the most important entity on your product right now, and he's not in the main event. That's when we found out Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton were main eventing the show. This was a very predictable situation, just like the Drew McIntyre situation with AJ Styles. Nobody watching this show thought that Roman Reigns was going to lose this title. Nobody. WWE had one job to do here. One job. Get Kevin Owens over. Get Kevin Owens over in this match with Roman Reigns and showcase him as the top-level guy that we all know he can be. Did WWE do that tonight? They absolutely did. Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns delivered in every possible way tonight. Kevin Owens was booked like a monster. I don't want to hear anybody tell me that Kevin Owens is a loser and Kevin Owens lost tonight. He was the biggest winner of the entire night tonight at TLC. He looked like a main event guy, and he looked like he belonged. He belongs. And it goes to show you how Roman Reigns has raised his game. He was good. He was good beforehand. Cringe and booked poorly, terribly, like creative, but good. He was always a solid wrestler. Roman Reigns right now, everything the guy is doing is untouchable. He went from good to absolutely untouchable. Everything that Roman Reigns touches turns to gold. Everything. There's a reason why he wears that gold glove on his wrist, on his hand. Everything he touches turns to gold. Heyman knows it. Reigns knows it. We know it. He knows it. Everybody knows it. Uso knows it. Roman Reigns is the best thing in pro wrestling. He's the best thing in WWE. He's the best heel in all pro wrestling right now. Kenny Omega is going to give him a run for his money. But Kevin Owens looks like a legit badass motherfucker after tonight. And they booked this thing perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Reigns made his entrance. Taking his time, doing his thing. He's the head of the table. Kevin Owens attacked out of nowhere during Reigns' entrance. A barrage of punches. A cannonball into the ring corner. A cannonball outside into the barricade. Owens throws Reigns into the steel steps. Then jumps off the apron with a bullfrog splash. At this point, Reigns was in trouble. He never looked to be in this much trouble during his entire heel run up until this point. Kevin Owens was in complete control. Jey Uso runs in, making it a 2-on-1 situation. He stops Owens, but he eats a super kick. He takes the chair to Uso. Owens does, takes him out. Goes back to Reigns with the chair. Uso went for a super kick, and Owens swatted his foot away with the chair. Owens then cleared off the announce table, but Reigns came over and ran by him, hit him with a drive-by. Reigns at this point in control, absolutely destroying Owens with the steel steps. Back in the ring, Reigns beating down Owens with a ladder. Reigns just very methodically in control, methodical in his approach. Reigns with another brutal assault with a steel chair on Owens this time. Reigns sets up two chairs together, face to face in the ring. Owens went for a powerbomb. Reigns instead blocks it. Back body drops him into the two chairs. Owens somehow gets back up. Steel chair to Roman Reigns. A fucking fisherman suplex on Roman onto an open steel chair. And I mean on the top of the steel chair. The top of the steel chair. So Owens starts to climb up the ladder now. Jey Uso again out of nowhere comes in. He's on one leg at this point. Stops Owens. Reigns was back up. He delivered a Superman punch to Owens. It was a 2-on-1 match for most of this thing. Both men set up tables in the ring. Owens fought back. Super kick to Uso. Stunner to Reigns. Owens sets up another ladder. Uso was just a fucking pest at this point. So Owens stops what he's doing and he puts him through the announce table. Owens buried Uso under all of the rubble of the announce table. Throws the chairs and the broken tables on top of this mess. Same thing that happened to him on Friday. He did to Uso. So back in the ring, he climbs up. Reigns climbs up. He stops him. Powerbomb on top of a ladder by Reigns. So Roman Reigns powerbombs Kevin Owens on top of a ladder in the corner. Michael Cole on commentary. I had to put this in my fucking notes because I found it to be utterly ridiculous. Now, the announce table was broken at this point, okay? I get it. Roman Reigns powerbombed Kevin Owens on top of a ladder. Michael Cole screaming at the top of his lungs. Reigns with a spine buster through the table. It was a powerbomb on top of a ladder, not a table. Now, I understand that there was chaos on the outside, and I get that their table was broken. And Michael Cole, I get that you might not have TV monitors, but you gotta have fucking eyeballs. You gotta have eyeballs. I don't know how you could mess up table and ladder, powerbomb and spine buster. Maybe he was reading the wrong section of his notes. I don't know. So Reigns on the outside. Chokeslam on Owens through a table. Reigns then with a Samoan drop through another table. Reigns back in the ring, climbing up the ladder slowly. Owens back in the ring. Grabs Reigns and his foot very weak. Very weak. Almost pathetic. Reigns was laughing that he won't go away. So Reigns is talking shit now, saying Owens is only at this point embarrassing his family. Owens then punched Reigns in the face, which led to Roman Reigns delivering a spear that absolutely exploded a table in the corner. So devastating was this spear. Owens at this point was still moving like a fucking cockroach. He said to Reigns, "You're gonna have to kill me, motherfucker." Reigns went for another spear through the barricade. Owens moves out of the way. Roman Reigns blasts through the timekeeper's area. Went right through the barricade because Owens moved. Owens up the ladder. He had his fingers on the title. And Reigns was somehow back in the ring to stop Kevin Owens. Reigns then slams Owens right into the ladder head first. Owens nails 2 super kicks to stun Roman Reigns momentarily. Owens goes for a pop-up power bomb, but Reigns hits the Superman punch on the way down. Owens tries again, but this time puts Reigns through a table with the pop-up power bomb. Reigns stumbles to the outside. Owens climbs up for the title once again, but here comes the cockroach, Jey Uso. Uso fights him off and takes him out with a stunner. Owens climbs back up and has his fingers on the title again. He was barely there. All he had to do was unvelcro the title, which is disgusting to say. The WWE Universal title and the WWE title have fucking Velcro on them. All you had to do was unvelcro the championship. Reigns back up again. Climbing up the ladder, he punches through one of the rungs on the ladder. He nails Owens right in the balls. He punches him in the nuts. You want to stop a guy dead in his tracks, you punch him in the nuts. Reigns with a guillotine choke on the top of the ladder. Reigns lets go of Owens. He falls to the mat like a ton of bricks. Reigns unvelcros the title and wins the match and retains the Universal Championship. Awesome. Absolutely awesome match. Definitely going to be one of the best matches of the year. And they made Kevin Owens look like a fucking superstar tonight, man. The one thing that I hope that they do is make Kevin Owens exactly what he looked like tonight. And the one result that I hope comes out of this is that Bruce and Vince McMahon realize that they have a main event guy in Kevin Owens. This was not a one-off. This should not only be looked at as a one-off. This was a test for Kevin Owens. He passed that motherfucker with a flying A+. The guy needs more to do in 2021. Start booking him better. Check the chat here, man. 2157 in the chat right now. Super chats are open. Super chats are open, man. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. There is no room for anybody brash in the chat. Brash equals trash. Get the fuck out. There's a reason why you're a failure. Moving on. 2100 in the chat. Super chats are open. We'll hang out at the end. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Almost at 1,000. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for making us number 1 in the IWC. Number 1 in the IWC. Out of everybody that was live tonight, man. Don't forget it. It happens every time. Firefly Inferno match. Randy Orton versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. After their ring entrances, which were collectively 16 minutes, we got the bell to ring, and the match was underway. I wanted fire. We got about 3 minutes of match, and I'm asking myself, where the fuck is fire? Where is the fire? The old school Inferno matches, there were bars around ringside, fire shooting up every time there was a big move. You seen the fire just explode out of the bars around ringside, right? Really a great visual. And Bray Wyatt, it took Bray Wyatt to get in control until we finally seen what this Firefly Funhouse Inferno match, Firefly Inferno match really was. Now, this was just a basic brawl with fire effects. There really wasn't much to the match at all. I expected the match to be utterly boring, just based on their previous history. All you gotta do is go back to their House of Horrors match, which was terrible, and their WrestleMania match, which was fucking terrible, which, by the way, should have included Luke Harper. Luke Harper should have been in that match. Undoubtedly would have made that match a lot better than what it was. This was like And I'm going to use this as an example because I love the Alien movies. I love Ridley Scott. I think Alien and Aliens are two of the greatest movies ever made. This was like the fourth Alien movie. This was like the fourth Alien movie where you got that ugly looking fucking alien and it gives birth to the baby and the baby is in love with Ripley, right? So fucking garbage, man. This was like a fucking fourth or fifth installment of a terrible fucking... This was the Jaws 3 of their feud. That's the best way for me to put it, man. After Jaws 1, which is probably the greatest movie of all time, if you ask me, in my honest opinion, then you got Jaws 2, which was not as good as Jaws, but still great. Jaws the Revenge. I even like Jaws the Revenge, even though the shark looked fake as fuck, and they were in the fucking Caribbean. I still enjoyed the movie. But this was the Jaws 3 of their feud. Terrible. They don't know when to quit. You should have ended after 2. You should have ended Aliens. That's it. After Aliens, that's it. That's over. This was a basic brawl with fire effects. That's all it was. So, there's no pinfalls, there's no submissions, there's no countouts, there's no disqualifications. The only way to win this match is by setting your opponent on fire. Bray Wyatt wrestled this entire match in his jacket. Randy Orton wrestled this match in a black jumpsuit, a black RKO jumpsuit. So unlike past Inferno matches, there was no fire around the ring. We seen these spirally fucking rods of fire everywhere. There was beams of fire behind the barricade, exploding with fire. Every time WWE felt like pushing a button, the fire would illuminate in the Thunderdome. There was no commentary team at ringside. They were probably doing this thing in the back somewhere so they didn't get fucking injured or burned. WrestleVotes reported earlier on in the night that this match was taped before TLC. It was taped in the afternoon to give them enough time to set the actual pay-per-view up. A lot of people were wondering why this match went on last over Roman Reigns. The fact that this match went on last, guys, was because if this match was actually live, and this happened in the middle of the show, being that it was a non-title match and there was no real significance or importance to this match, if you did all of this in the middle of the show, how long would it take them to clean all this shit up? Gasoline and fire and all this other shit, right? Props and dummies. How long would it take them to clean this shit up? And then, with WWE doing the ending that they did in this match, the fact that it was taped, it gave them a little bit more of an easy way to perform and get ready to do that scripted ending that we've seen tonight, which I'll talk about in a second. So, there was rods of fire exploding all over the place, beams of fire on ringside. There was, no commentary desk, like I said. Anytime there was a big move on the floor, the fire became bigger. It was really a visually appealing sight. It was just not really a Inferno match. The Inferno match that I go back and think about is the ones that Kane and Undertaker had. This was a take on that, but not really a Inferno match. And it wasn't the first time ever we seen an Inferno match. It's not the first time we've seen somebody set on fire on WWE television. They want to really boast about it. They want to hype it up. This was not a first time ever. We've seen this before 6 or 7 different times. So Orton and The Fiend had a brief stare down. Orton tried attacking The Fiend, but it did not affect him. Fiend took over and took Orton out with a running crossbody block. The Fiend attempted Sister Abigail, but Orton countered with a backbreaker. Fiend jumped to his feet. He then hit Sister Abigail. Fiend lifted his arms in the middle of the ring after Sister Abigail, and the fire finally appeared. They fought around ringside, teased Orton, getting set on fire. The Fiend attempted to hit Orton with an axe. Orton avoided it. The Fiend then set up a rocking chair outside. He took a can of gasoline and he led a line of gasoline right to the rocking chair. He placed Orton on the chair, set the gasoline on fire. We seen the fire trail up to the rocking chair. Orton seen this. He got up, he moved in time, and the visual of the rocking chair set on fire was a big moment in the match. Orton briefly took over. He had an axe handle without the axe, and he was nailing Bray Wyatt in the back with it. Fiend fought back. He set the axe handle on fire. Orton cut him off. Orton then gave the Fiend a draping DDT off the apron. Orton attempted the RKO on the floor, but Fiend applied the mandible claw. He backed Orton into the flames, but Orton turned around and set the Fiend on fire. Bray Wyatt's jacket was engulfed in flames. Orton then jumped back into the ring with the Fiend. Orton then hit an RKO on the Fiend, who was at the time still set on fire. Orton seemed afraid to check on the Fiend because he thought the Fiend was going to rise up, even though he was set on fire. At this point, Orton looked down. Bray Wyatt wasn't on fire anymore. He wasn't moving. Orton grabbed the gasoline. He covered Bray Wyatt in gasoline. So when Orton went to go get the gasoline outside, we got, obviously, camera tricks. Bray Wyatt was removed from the ring, and they placed a dummy Bray Wyatt in the ring for this closing sequence. Now, in order to do some of the dangerous spots, they stopped and did some retakes. Now, this includes the rocking chair spot at ringside and the final spot of the match in the ring with gasoline. This was edited together, and obviously, that was not Bray Wyatt who was having gasoline dumped on him. This was not Bray Wyatt on fire at the very end of the match. They used a dummy made to look like Bray Wyatt, who they set on fire. WWE had people set up off camera with fire extinguishers to put out different fires around the ring, and there were extra special precautions taken to keep everyone safe during this match. The way things played out, one would think that Wyatt would not return to TV anytime soon, and since his character is portrayed as being supernatural, he should eventually be back on WWE TV in relatively quick fashion. So Orton grabbed the gasoline, covered Bray Wyatt in the gasoline. He slowly took a match and watched it burn down to the tip. He was thinking and thinking and thinking about it, but he flicks the match, and Bray Wyatt's body was completely engulfed in flames, and I mean Bray Wyatt in quotes. The commentators were disgusted with Orton's actions, and the show went off the air with Bray Wyatt set aflame and Randy Orton doing his pose as TLC, and the trademark logo on the screen came up, and the show faded to black. That was your TLC show. Folks, no matter if Bray Wyatt's coming back to television, no matter if Bray Wyatt's going to be at WrestleMania or feuding with somebody else or moving on from this, the symbolism of Bray Wyatt on fire is the symbolism that Bray Wyatt is dead. Bray Wyatt's character is dead. I don't want to hear anybody else talk about fucking Bray Wyatt, okay? Bray Wyatt was dead back in February. Buried. The man never recovered. They did nothing with him to make him feel special. He was in absolutely garbage feuds. He hasn't had one good fucking match all year outside of Daniel Bryan. In fact, Bray Wyatt's greatest opponent, from his old gimmick to his new gimmick, is Daniel Bryan. When you look back at this when you look back at his WWE run, this guy, Bray Wyatt, when you look back at his WWE run, you're going to look at the biggest fucking failure, or one of the biggest failures in WWE ever. How do you recover from this? When he comes back to television, how do you take him seriously? This is not Bray Wyatt, Mr. Rogers losing. This is the supernatural, oh, let him in, Fiend losing. He was set ablaze tonight in relatively easy fashion. A mere mortal in Randy Orton has defeated the supernatural, godlike, unholy Fiend. So what makes you think anybody after this is going to take him seriously, no matter who he's in the ring with? Bray Wyatt is dead. It might not feel like it to those people watching who are Bray Wyatt fans, but the guy is dead. Dead. That was symbolism of them killing his character. There's no way around it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Every time I see the Firefly Funhouse, there's nothing special about it anymore. Every time I see Bray Wyatt, there's nothing special about it. Alexa Bliss was the only special attraction in this act. That is Alexa Bliss being the only special attraction in this pairing. She made The Fiend relevant for months. She wasn't on SmackDown. She wasn't here during this match. WWE made The Fiend weak through a woman, Alexa Bliss. When nobody knew what his weakness was, they just unveiled his weakness to be Alexa Bliss. At every given moment, WWE had taken away from Bray Wyatt slowly but surely and made the character useless. Win the Rotunda deserves better than that. This is why WWE, every time they get a hold of something, every time we like something, every time something is over or looked at by the community as something special and people get excited about it, this is why I tell you guys, don't get excited about it. This show's being written by people that don't know how to handle talent. And you want me to get excited about Bray Wyatt. The best thing that Bray Wyatt did in his entire run, and this is going back to last year's SummerSlam when he first debuted against Finn Balor, the best thing that Bray Wyatt has done in his entire run as The Fiend was that first introduction at SummerSlam where he wrestled Finn Balor and we seen that entrance for the first time. Ever since that, it's been this. The man has never recovered. Hell in a Cell, Goldberg, Braun Strowman, winning the title, losing the title, and now this. That's Bray Wyatt's career, folks. That's Bray Wyatt's career. Ending with him burned into oblivion at the end of TLC. Quite fitting for what 2020 was as far as an entire year. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the TLC post show. We are going to go over the super chats, man. If you guys were here for the review, let me know what you think of the review in the comment section, in the chat. If you enjoyed the review, man, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Thumbs up emoji in the chat if you enjoyed the review. If you guys want to hang out with the super chats, I'd love to have you. If not, and you want to go to sleep, you got work in the morning, you got to get ready for the holidays, I'll see you guys on Monday Night Raw. I will be live tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit the thumbs up on the video. We got 30 to go before we hit 1,000. Let's do it. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And if you missed off the script this past weekend, go and check it out. Live on the channel. Also available on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you guys very much, man. Love you. Look at all those thumbs up come in. Let's hit these super chats, man. Let's go over these super chats. Daniel Easterday. $2 super chat. I hate what all they've done to the Fiend. Me too, man. Just got done talking about it. I hate it. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. And people said the Fiend wasn't dead. Wonder what his third gimmick will be. His third gimmick will be New Japan Pro Wrestling. Get him the fuck out of there. Poor Man's Games. $5 super chat. Why is the pay-per-view shorter than Raw? They need to make Raw 2 hours. Bro, Raw needs to be that needs to be a priority going into 2021. Raw needs to be 2 hours. No question. Justin Striplin, $4.99. Do you think WWE is making the TLC pay-per-view as Asuka's WrestleMania, although she's 0-3 at WrestleMania? Asuka is now 4-0 at TLC. Bro, you're looking way too much into that. WWE, I guarantee you, they do not know that Asuka is 3-0 or 4-0 at TLC. They have no fucking idea. Bro, they don't even know what the fuck is going on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. You're going to worry about a 4-0 record for TLC? Hula Grim. What's up, brother? $5 super chat. BBW. Buried Bray Wyatt. Can you call me a goon for the holidays? Merry Christmas and much love, JDPS. Your shirts are awesome. Love you too, OTS fam. Hula Grim, you ain't a goon, bro. If you want me to call you a goon, I'll call you a fucking goon. You fucking goon. Thank you for all that you've done this year, man. You know, I was on Twitch earlier, and it was a stressful time. I actually deleted the stream on Twitch. Not really my best performance, man. I can't play with people on Black Ops anymore. I gotta go solo, man. I gotta go rogue. I'll be back on Monday, tomorrow. We'll do it again, solo. Thank you for everything, man. Love you too. Glad you enjoy your CyberPunk JD-inspired shirt, even though the game sucks. And much love to all my OTS fans. Jericho8131, $5 super chat. After witnessing the Fiend character get barbecued, extra crispy, and literally go up in flames, do you think Bray will emerge with a new character? You know what, Jericho? I don't even give a shit. I don't even give a shit. Who cares? The next character he comes up with probably be better than what he did the last 2 times. And what will WWE do with it? They'll kill it. Ostro, 1980, with a $5 super chat. Hey, geek. Adults who wear wrestling shirts are the real clowns. You should start reviewing The Walking Dead. Your show rocks. Is anybody still watching The Walking Dead? I do review The Walking Dead, Ostro. It's called Raw. The fuck do I need to watch AMC for? Monday Night Raw is the new Walking Dead, bro. It's the longest running weekly episodic television show of all time. Zero Pile with a $4.99 super chat. A lot of people are telling me TLC was the best pay-per-view of the year. You're really stretching it there, bro. The best pay-per-view of the year? Where? In all of wrestling? Negative. That belongs to Revolution. The best WWE pay-per-view of the year? Negative. That goes to the Royal Rumble. Don't listen to the people on social media, folks. They got the IQ of a fucking bag of peas. Antonio with a $4.99 super chat. It's funny how you're wearing an AEW jacket over a WWE merchandise. Absolutely classic in a WWE TLC review. Well, first of all, bro, the AEW hoodie is one of my favorite pieces of clothing. It keeps me warm. I don't give a fuck what's on it. Number 2, this is a Pro Wrestling Tees t-shirt. This isn't a licensed WWE shirt. So actually wearing the AEW hoodie over this shirt makes a lot of sense. Because this isn't a WWE shop t-shirt. This is a Pro Wrestling Tees t-shirt. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. He retracted his message. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Dan Hackett. Do you think it could be a triple threat with Bayley, Sasha, and Bianca at WrestleMania? Listen, I could see that. I would rather Bayley versus Sasha. I would rather Bayley win the Royal Rumble. Have her eliminate Bianca. Keep Bianca strong. Have Bayley win it. Give me Sasha Bayley at WrestleMania. Have Bianca look strong. Simple. Do something with Bianca at WrestleMania. Give her Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Sways with a New Zealand $5 super chat. Happy Christmas, JD. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Bryan wins the Rumble and challenges Reigns at Mania. And you can do the stupid Goldberg-Reigns fight at the Rumble. Absolutely, man. I hope so. Reigns and Goldberg at Royal Rumble makes a lot of sense. At Mania, no. Michael Raymond with a $5 super chat. What if Riddle was a businessman who wore suits, whose feet are painted like shoes? What if when confronted, he adamantly denies being barefoot? No. We don't need Riddle to look like any more of a fucking clown, okay? Quintendo with a $2 super chat. Merry Christmas, JD. Can't wait for OTS and the Raw review. I'll see you there, brother. DeAndre with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? When do you think Jimmy comes back, and how do you think they make him fall in line with his brother in Roman? I have no idea, man. I'm leaving that up to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's a genius. He's going to make it right. The Usos versus the Street Profits at WrestleMania. Book it. They take the titles off of the Street Profits. There'll be a nice, uneventful run for the Street Profits that will be looked at as unmemorable. Just because WWE doesn't have any tag teams for them to wrestle. Cool Jags with a $4.99 super chat. I'll give this pay-per-view a C+. Carmella versus Sasha gets a thumbs up. Roman versus Owens was incredible. Drew winning was expected. And the Android Queen is back. Kill me. Bro, she's back with that new and improved NVIDIA fucking graphics card. Or NVIDIA graphics card. Updated processor, modem. She's got that fucking i10 fucking implanted. This fucking bitch got 6G, man. Never mind 5G. Shout out to my boy Daryl in the chat. Gonna read what he says here. JD, if it's Sasha versus Bayley at WrestleMania 37, it has to be 1 hour Iron Woman's match or 3 stages of Hell match for the last dance to end this feud once and for all. I agree, man. Iron Woman match, throw back to what they did. I love it. I don't think we'll ever see a 3 stages of Hell match. Otherwise, I'd be for that, but I don't think we see that. Iron Woman's match, I'll take it, man. Love it. Shout out to Daryl. Let me know if you got your OTS mug and cookie, brother. Charlotte got 6G, bro. Bitch got fucking 6G implanted in her, man. What's going on here, man, in the chat? Somebody, Bro, chill, JD. I'm dead. What happened? JD, be careful. Some goon is gonna clip it in a different way. Oh, I said this bitch has 6G? She's got 5G, 6G. What's so bad about that? Biggs with a $1 super chat. Thank you, Biggs. Hooligram. $5 super chat. Who informed me that I won the giveaway? As a lifelong wrestling fan, gaming with an itchy ass and Dorito fingers, I finally get to smell like Squatch. Well, I was going to announce it on Raw tomorrow, but who did its job there by announcing? Or who did their job? Congratulations, Hooligram. I specifically chose those bars of soap myself. So let me know what you think about that. Antonio, $1.99 super chat. Charlotte makes me sick to my stomach. Raw is 0 out of 10. The Pacifist with a $5 super chat. Charlotte is so bad that I went limp and I didn't even watch the pay-per-view. Thanks for the Blue Chew hookup. You're welcome, man. Man, this Ryback TV fucking troll account, man, he's got like fucking 18 different fucking YouTube accounts, man. Get the fuck out of the chat, you fucking clown. Jesus Christ. Get out of here, man. What a fucking idiot. $1 with a $2 super chat. How can normal Bray show back up after this? Well, they didn't kill normal Bray, they killed the Fiend. I hope he doesn't show up. Titus hopes he shows up. There'll be a welcome addition in fucking catering. DJ South 128, $5 super chat. Ryback and Failure Views Entertainment in the chat. The whole community came out for the IWC Tribal Chief tonight. They know. They know, man. 2 failures. Watching how it's done. What do you expect? Ulysses, $2 super chat. Where does Alexa Bliss go from here if the Fiend is gone? Who gives a shit? Go get married and go on your honeymoon. Get off TV. Jeremy Westbrook, $1.99. Should I join the Patreon in 2021? Abso-fucking-lutely. I recommend Tier 2. Go and get yourself an off-the-script baseball mug, man. People are loving them. And there's very limited supply. Maurice Jackson with a $4.99. Watch OTS 356. A heartfelt analysis of the product. It would be nice if somebody in WWE was watching it. Glad I haven't watched in months. Maurice, thank you, brother. I was talking to Ticket Drew today. He texted me at 10:24, actually. I was talking to Ticket Drew today. I want to come up with this concept. I want to come up with this idea. I want to get a roundtable discussion. I want to get a roundtable discussion of me and Ticket Drew with 3 other people in the community. Who do you think, as far as content wrestling creators or podcasters, who do you think would be a welcome addition to me? Who do you think would compliment me on this roundtable discussion on how to fix Monday Night Raw? Let me know what you guys think below. The Overgiver. Canadian $5 super chat. How would you feel about Lashley versus Drew for WrestleMania? No, we've seen it already. You guys, man. You guys. I see a lot of Solid Monsters in the chat. For those who said OTRS Central, fuck no. And those who said Conman167, a double fuck no. Come on. What are you guys, fucking stupid? A lot of BC and a lot of Solid Monster. Phil with a $9.99. I completely agree. I don't even know how WWE can book The Fiend after what they did tonight. I don't even know who he'd face next, but regardless of who he faces, it won't even matter. It won't matter. It won't matter at all, man. Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Give me a fucking break. You guys are a bunch of fucking geeks, man. Jesus Christ. Jonathan with a $4.99 super chat. Bray Wyatt is completely dead. There's no recovering from what happened to him. Also, not really surprised Charlotte gained another championship. Me neither. Me neither. Also, hope you're having yourself a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, brother. Much love. Thank you so much for the $10, Jonathan. I appreciate you, brother. Jesse says, Ollie Davis. I'm going to ship you over to the fucking UK Geeks if you keep it up, man. Kazama Fury with a $4.99 super chat. Exactly when you think the Hurt Business will turn on Cedric for getting too cocky since they've been hinting at it for weeks. Listen, man, Cedric is absolutely fucking great in this role. I love his newfound confidence, man. He looks legit. DJ South with a $5 super chat. I celebrated my 25th birthday a couple weeks ago and would love a shout out. And an end this. DJ South, I won't give you an end this. I'll give you a wood. Wood. And a happy 25th birthday, brother. Appreciate you. Burt Jackson. Thank you so much, man. $4.99. JD, when you and BC Amplify gonna do a review together? That would be epic. I don't know. I gotta give him a call. We gotta have a few beers. Hollywood Guy, $5 super chat. Who is going to bury his ashes? Maybe Taker will put it in the urn. Who gives a shit, man? Dead. Ulysses, I want to like Flair and the rest of the horsewomen. Like the rest of the horsewomen, but she's just too overhyped, overexposed, overrated, overprotected. She's won 12 titles. What the fuck? At this rate, she'll win 26 times before she retires. Riddick with a $20 super chat. I get that the Fiend is a Jason type character. Problem here is that Jason kills a lot before he's killed. Fiend doesn't get to take anyone out, and he's defeated. If he did, it would be a different story when he gets defeated. Bro, you tweet that to Bruce Pritchard. Raging Girl Gamer, $5 super chat. My husband hated the match. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, LOL, so I had to hear it all night. Hope you're doing all right from that Twitch stream earlier. I'll be back tomorrow, Rage. Hopefully you guys can join me on Twitch then. Thank you for the $5 and slap some sense into your husband. Seriously. And Riddick. And sorry I haven't been around, man. I needed a break from everything wrestling for a while. This is my first show back in over a month. Bro, take the rest of the fucking month off. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Guys, thank you for making Off the Script #1 in the community tonight. We do it better than anybody. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, man. That's why they're afraid. Follow me on Twitter at JD206. Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Check out Off the Script from this past weekend, man. I appreciate it. Awesome show. Jeremy Westbrook, I forgot your super chat, man. $1.99. I left a nice message on the iTunes rating. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Phil, $1.99. Just want to wish you a Merry Christmas. You too, brother. Go check out Off the Script, guys. 356, awesome show. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. Bonfire.com, get your t-shirts. Patreon is the best way to support, man. Sign up for those tiers. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Hit that thumbs up. Helps out the video, man. And hit that subscribe button down below. 120,000. Thank you guys so very much, man. I'm grabbing my cold beverage. I'm getting in the Mustang. It's cold outside, but the windows are going to be down. You want to know why? Because Pilot's coming on with his guitar solo. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat. Turn that volume up to max. And I'll see you guys on Monday night for the post show right here on Off the Script. See you guys later.
from me to you, go fuck yourself.